Hello, cool kids. So today, this is my friend. We got my friend Penguin, my friend Avalanche over here, and I kind of have like something special in mind today. I actually want to go ahead and cover a very topic that I love, like close to my heart. I will probably eat your heart out. Hey. We're covering zombies, and it's going to be a rant about zombies and certain things we love about them. The thing that makes them special to me is like, since we were kids, I mean, we're all here from age from 19, 20, you know, 19, like 18, right there, Left 4 Dead 2. You got one of that's your favorite, man?
Left 4 Dead.
Left 4 Dead. Dead Rising. Even Dead Rising, I love the game, but it pisses me off. I can't stand Chuck.
Weapon making is amazing.
You got over 50 different weapons out there between a blowtorch, LED. Do you know what LED is supposed to stand for? That thing?
I don't know.
I don't know what
I love my boxing glove Wolverine ones.
like that. But the reason why we hold it close to our heart is it's our generation. Like zombies. Okay, so George A. Romero is considered the father of zombies. He created them in practice, I think, 1950 to 1960s. The whole idea of them always existed. He brought them into fame, brought them into Hollywood. So the reason why we hold it close to our heart is, even though they were around since then, nobody really cared for them. I mean, it was terrifying, the whole idea that guys are eating brains and even saying brains. I'm happy that they scrapped that idea because nobody wants to see a zombie talk.
Nobody wants to see zombie talk. That's retarded. And they kind of ruined zombies a little bit later of making them. Don't get me wrong, I love Left 4 Dead zombies. It makes the game harder for them to run fast, but they do not run superhuman speed. They do not jump from rooftop to rooftop.
Oh, and that zombies movie I was telling you about? Yeah, these guys are actually free-running zombies. Like, they are diving and rolling and avoid.
They are not parkour zombies, people. They are not parkour zombies.
Like, Avalanche, you got anything to say about, like, parkour zombies?
See, that's going too far with zombies. They're supposed to be decaying, not Olympic athletes.
Yeah, I mean, if their body is falling apart, you're not going to see one jump off of something, hit a roll, like, check, let me check the LS. Yeah, I'm good. Okay, let me go ahead and eat your face out or something like that. My number one peeve, my number one everything, if the thing talks, I'm skipping past it. I don't want to see a zombie like, you know, like that. No, I don't want to see Paris Hilton turn to a zombie. What black guy's penis am I going to suck next or something like that? No, if I'm going to have Paris Hilton turn to a zombie, I want to see half-eaten boob. That's what I want to get.
Right?
Now, another thing that like brings it close to us is like, okay, you see a massive amount of games. I mean, I got Dead Rising, I got Left 4 Dead 2, Dead Island.
I like Dead Island. Avalanche over here didn't like it too much. He didn't play co-op though. That's why too. It's better with co-op.
Elemental on melee weapons makes no sense.
It makes no sense. It doesn't add a flair to the game.
Actually,
it does not make any sense.
They did put gasoline. Like you have to attach the gasoline and the little flame thing.
Yeah, it still wouldn't work.
Yeah, it wouldn't work, but at least they give you some reasoning.
Whatever you do is going to.
I was like, it's like at least they gave some reasoning to it. Let's talk about zombie qualities, their strengths, weaknesses.
Yeah. Now the thing about it, like, okay, I would even get if they rat. It'd be different because first of all, if you're a decaying body, to me, the zombie would have to start from infected, not something. Solanum or whatever that Max Brooks said would not raise somebody from the dead. It would not. I mean, there's no possible way like that. If Solanum did work, it would have to go by an infected, being as it is. So I would get the ability to run. Because if it was dead, if it came from the ground, it's going to be set in with rigor mortis. And the zombie would literally just go like that. It's not going to happen. So I get the whole idea that they can run and all that.
Yeah,
I get that. What do you think about zombie strengths, Avalanche?
See, it would make sense that they're strong. They don't have the brain limiter anymore, so they're going to be able to use all of their muscle. Even if it is decayed, it's still going to be more muscle than we typically have.
Because that human body is only going to use less than 40% and all that. It doesn't have something that says, watch out, your arm might break, or watch out, your eyeball might fall out of your uterus or something like that. I mean, that's just not going to work to them. So how do you think zombie smarts would work?
Zombie tactics, they're not really smart. If you find a way to go around a wall, they're gonna go slowly. They're probably gonna head toward the wall, the last place you came. They probably start hitting against the wall, or they go to the door. They're not really too smart. Pretty sure they don't climb ladders. If they do, well, we're all fucked anyways.
Pretty sure they're gonna front flip through a window.
Yeah, it's like if they can climb ladders, we're all screwed. Don't even try to hide. They're
Well,
smart.
you can just kick it off.
No, it's like the simple fact that they can learn. Like that means they learn. If they learn, they become smarter, and they'll start using communication.
What do you think on the Avalanche?
If zombies can learn, we're pretty much screwed. It's gonna take some good coordination between whoever you're trying to survive with, and any mistakes, it's gonna ruin everything.
All right, now we're gonna cover one more area of quality before we skip on to the next subject. Now, what do you think of the whole idea of the zombie either already holding a weapon, because if he's infected and it's holding like a sword and it doesn't, it's not letting go for whatever unknown reason? What do you think about the idea that a zombie picking up a weapon to go and attack? Because it doesn't show too much brain feature. I mean, it is in us that if something is that we want to kill, if there's something in front of that we can just swing with or whatever. What do you think?
Now, I could see the motor skills to wield a weapon. However, I don't see them being able to intentionally find a weapon, pick it up, and use it.
Yeah.
If, say, they already had one in their hand when they were turned into a zombie, I could see that. Like if they were a mechanic and they had a wrench or something.
Yeah.
That I can understand. But I don't really see zombies looking for weapons and using them.
And what do you guys say, Penguin?
Almost exactly like he said, is like they probably have dead grip on the weapon they have now. Because when you die, you most likely will still be holding your last brain thought will be to hold that weapon. So they'll probably be holding it, and when they come back to life, their last brain thought was to hold that weapon. So they're probably gonna go eat, but they're still gonna hold that weapon in their hand. So when they gesture to go attack something, they're probably gonna swing the weapon with it.
Getting knocked out by the teddy bear.
All right, now our next subject, we're gonna be talking about character flaws. Movies. I know. It's supposed to be it's a movie. We know they do it on purpose, but we're showing you exactly why you shouldn't do it. All right, let's go to Dawn of the Dead. Actually, they go to a mall. They are not the smartest of people for going to the mall.
First of all, it's going to be rated already.
So there's probably going to be low supplies in there. They are smart that they barricaded and everything. The security, there were security guards there that barricaded everything, put the cages down. But after a while, I'm pretty sure the zombies are going to get in. A flaw they did do later on in the movie, they built their mobile vans, pretty much they're not going to get broken through. But they put chainsaws without, what was it again, Snow?
A bracket.
A bracket. You cannot hold a chainsaw steady when it tips over. They should have foreseen the zombies being able to tip over a van. So it fell and pretty much cut her head almost completely off.
And on top of that, instead of putting a young fit person on the chainsaw who would be able to easily operate it and cut through the zombies, they put an elderly man. Worst decision.
You already lost half your grip when you sit there twerking in the bathroom. All right, so what do you think, Avalanche? What do you think is another mistake that is commonly made in movies?
Okay, let's see. Zombieland. In Zombieland, they go to a theme park. Mm-hmm. Worst possible decision. One, there's not gonna be a lot of supplies there. Yeah, it may be
not gonna hold you.
It may be fun, to ride the rides again, remind you of what life was actually like. But once you turn them on, all the lights and sound is gonna attract a horde just like it did in the movie.
And they already shot Bill Murray.
Fatal mistake.
All right, so now we went ahead, we covered going to certain areas like the mall and going to that. So obviously, from what we can tell from these two gentlemen, is that you're not going to an area that a lot of the populace is going to already, one, rate it, or two, is going to try and like relive part of humanity. If you're going to relive humanity, literally go into a room and play tag. Go into a room that you know is closed off and, you know, get the nasty going. Now, if there's another common mistake that I know that is commonly made in movies, is this whole idea. If you trip and you have enough time to pick back up your weapon, pick your weapon back up. Yes, every second counts, but those 5 seconds between getting from here and here that you're going to take from scrambling back up, you have enough time to pick your weapon and either roll out of the way, because rolling is always better than trying to scramble back up. Because scrambling up, you can hurt you want to hurt a finger, and that dexterity that you need to hold that weapon is already compromised. So you can always pick up the weapon and try to move to your left, move to your right, swerve to your to behind you, or just move straight in front.
You can also twist your ankle when you're getting up.
That's awesome. If you're dumb enough to twist your ankle, getting back up, die. This is a quick option, right?
Buy time for the rest of your friends.
Exactly, Guillermo.
All right. Another flaws in movies that happen is we already covered the picking up your gun, of how dumb you are to just look at the gun. It's like, you know what? They're 5 miles away. We're gonna walk away.
Let's go ahead and run. It's screaming. Oh my freaking God! You're not screaming, dude. First of all, yes, zombies are gonna be scary, but after 20, 30 days or so of running away, you're not gonna scream when you see somebody going. Now you're gonna be like, oh, that's cute, dude. That's cute. Yeah, like I said, like that's cute. Just bang.
Guess what? You're dead. Also, make sure you don't shoot for the body. Shoot for the head.
So, going to that, shall we give them some useful tips, pointers?
Exactly. Okay, we'll go with tips.
So, first off, as he was saying, don't shoot for the body. It's not going to kill them. Aim for the head. Secondly, screaming is going to attract them more than just running away. Stay quiet as possible.
And grabbing like a pot or a pen. First of all, too short range. I mean, and it's going to make a lot of noise once it clanks against something. It's designed for that. So do you have any like melee weapons that you can think that would come in handy?
Now, my personal favorite would be a katana. One, it's going to stay sharp for a long period of time, and because they're made well, they're going to easily slice through bone and meat. No problem, especially if it's a zombie and it's decaying.
And you do have a very, very quick swing with it.
Yes.
It's not a heavy weapon.
Very light, but still use 2 hands. Using 1 hand, not as much control. With the 2, you'll have more power and more control.
You stand the risk of hyperextending your arm, which if you do that, it cuts off certain important nerve endings, which would actually cause you to drop the weapon. And like we said, if you have 5 minutes, you can pick up your gun. Well, if you're using a katana, you're obviously, in a melee situation. You're not going to have that time to pick up that weapon. And losing a katana is way worse than your bus tipping over and seeing some girl get chainsawed in half. Penguin, you have a certain weapon that you like?
I love the crowbar. Best utility weapon you can use. It has a blunt end, it has a sharp end. You can break through houses easily. If you need to get in there quickly, bust down the door, get your food, get whatever medicine, bathroom, window seal thing, get your medicine, whatever you can, and get out.
And like the katana, it has a long enough reach. That's another reason why I agree with Avalanche, due to the fact that it has that between 4 to 6 foot is the average length.
Well, including the extension of the arm, 5 to 7 feet. Decent katanas usually at a max of 3 foot long.
Yeah. All right. So now that we covered both of that, honestly, is there anything else you want to say about the crowbar?
Crowbar, you can do not get heavy crowbars, the big ones, 10 pound. Like,
why do those exist?
It's like, I don't know why you would have those. You could have a light crowbar, around like 4 to 5 pounds, easy to use. You can swing faster with it. You don't have excess weight on yourself. And that's pretty much it about the crowbar. Doesn't need much explaining.
It's not a personal favorite, but it's something that I honestly agree with heavily when it comes to people say when they'll say it's a horrible weapon because it's short range. A hatchet. A lot of people say a hatchet is an awful weapon because it can go anywhere from 2 to 7 pounds. You're not grabbing, or a 24-pound industrial hatchet, which no one needs. I mean, if you throw it, it's going to fall and hit your foot, and you're going to die. You're going to hit, your foot's going to chop off, and then you're going to die. It's inevitable. But anywhere from like a 4 to 7 pound hatchet is going to work because it has that. What it lacks in range, it has an extreme power. The large broadside that goes from both down upwards is going to have enough chopping power. It's going to use if you use all your hand strength, which like he said is in one hand it can't when I say hyperextend, you said you don't want to use all your arm power. So you want to grab one with that's going to be able to utilize both hands. It's going to chop off. It's going to chop off a lot of your It's going to chop off a lot of your length, but it's useful, just like the crowbar. If you need to either break something, if you need specifically if you need to cleave something open, that's where it's able to get where a crowbar isn't. If it's too thick with the crowbar, a hatchet, the top of the end of the blade is going to be enough to go ahead and cleave that backwards. So that's why I would prefer that over a lot of different ones, because it's a very sharp weapon, it's very quick, and it's actually easy to be sharpened, and it's also very malleable if you need to bend something with it.
Very true. And another use for having a hatchet, if it was one of the lighter ones, it's a throwing weapon if necessary.
Mm-hmm. And that's actually has to be absolutely necessary. Say if you and your team were practically challenged by the zombie version of Arnold Schwarzenegger, and the dude is too big to try and kill. If you absolutely need to throw it because for some damn reason you can't chop it to a skin, you can aim for this carotid artery, you can aim for the temple, you can aim for certain areas, and that is guaranteed to land straight. If it hits, it's going to hit hard. That's the only benefit that 24-pound would have, is it has enough force to not only kill the zombie, but have the force to knock it back, which would cause other ones to fall back.
But it will not be worth it because you're carrying a 24-pound thing.
You don't need to carry anything.
You're probably carrying food as well, plus clothing maybe, and other stuff that you will always probably have.
Exactly. All right, now that we covered melee weapons, the thing I want to go ahead and cover is ranged weapons. Now, I want to cover the part that makes it detestable. There's a simple fact that if a person is carrying a rifle or even a semi-automatic rifle that has the option of being turned off and being fully automatic, the exception being a Mauser. If you were holding a Mauser pistol, which is out of date, no reason to even have it, who would have a Mauser, is a simple fact that it can't be switched from single shot to multi-shot. And the amount of aim that it has is going to be used as a close-range weapon. So if you were to only go fully automatic, you're going to have to be close, because no weapon should ever be used in fully automatic session unless you are literally aiming for kneecaps or anything. If it has enough kick to enough power to enough recoil, that's going to knock back the legs. Because if you're going fully automatic, the only thing that you're going to unload into is either the wall, the air, your sister, or a zombie's chest or midsection, which, like
or Guillermo.
Or Guillermo, of course. Man did not use an ass. Or like he said, you're going to hit the torso, you're going to hit the arm, you're going to hit the legs, you're going to hit the penis or something like that, and it's not going to kill somebody, it's going to hurt them, and they're not going to be able to use it again, but zombies aren't using it anyway. Kind of like Penguin.
Zombies will always go after you, no matter what, unless you kill the brain.
And that's going to end it all. And not only that, a fully automatic weapon has a very large decibel range. It's going to be very loud. Have either held or fired a rifle?
I have fired a shotgun, I have fired a Magnum, and I have fired another shotgun. And
Avalanche has to keep the blackies and Mexican off his lunch, so he's fired several shotguns. But mainly what I want to say is, if you're going to grab an M16, if you're going to grab a... What the hell is an M4? I forgot.
An M4
if you're going to grab an M4,
a military weapon.
Military-grade weapon.
Navy SEALs.
And an AK, though being powerful, is a very messed up weapon, because now its features are the only thing that's going to hold it. They're not overloaded. They're not being hard to reload. Not all that. That's what's going to keep you alive. But it's going to be what's going to kill you, because like I said, the trigger isn't like a Magnum where the trigger's harder to pull on. It actually has a lot more leeway to it. So when you're firing, it's going to like that or whatever. If you have that bad aim, you're not using a Tommy gun. Why am I going like that? You're going to use a weapon. You're using a weapon that has recoil, that's going to bounce back. It's possibly going to even cause you to fall back. And like I said, you're going to drop your weapon.
And also, only have automatic weapons if you have a fortress. Keep them at your fortress, wherever your place of stay. that is the only time you should use automatic weapons, even if that's only if your place is getting overrun. Only time you should be using automatic weapons, ever. If not, try to find a crossbow.
If you're skilled enough, even an actual bow.
But not many people know how to use a bow.
Not everybody's Katniss Everdeen over here.
Yeah. Crossbow.
So Avalanche, do
should
you
be
have any
simple.
negatives on when it comes to ranged weapons?
Shotguns. While they may be useful if you're being overran, they're really loud, have a lot of kick and recoil. You're gonna attract a lot more zombies. You can possibly drop it, you can fall, and it can be the end of you.
And break the wrist. You can get a boxer's fracture from using a gun, which causes the kickback. And if you get a fracture right here, your wrist is going to lose about 60% of its carrying capacity mass. It's going to lose a lot of that ability. And shotguns are very heavy. The ammo for it is very heavy. So you're going to lose that ability. If you were using a katana, it's going to fall off, hit somebody in the neck, and you need that weapon. You can't. That's probably the only time we were like, oh, I gotta go. You know, leave that there. Don't pick back up my weapon, because if it's in your friend's neck, he's already getting eaten. You're gonna go get eaten too. Now, a positive carrying a ranged weapon. Not so much a positive. A good ranged weapon carry. Always a pistol is always one of the best weapons. Now, the difference is between if you're using a Colt, if you're using Magnum, or if you're using, like I said, a Mauser. You're gonna go whatever you can that's gonna be tactical, that can have an applicated silencer to it, or something that's gonna not have much kick. Do you have any like certain ranged weapons that you have in mind, Penguin?
Ranged weapons. Like you said, pistols are really good. If you can, find silencers for any guns you can. My favorite range gun is probably the MK14.
Yes, the MK14.
Yeah, MK14, single shot, highly accurate. It can turn, it's a single shot, but it makes you choose your targets carefully. And over time, you will develop a skill to be able to shoot more zombies at a time.
If you're pulling the left trigger, it's going to go ahead and auto aim for you. So,
even if you can't kill a zombie with it and you're not very accurate, aim for the legs, and it'll probably take out the leg.
And Avalanche, any positive ranged weapons you have?
My personal favorite or most useful ranged weapon would be, even though you don't think it's very good, an M4. M4s can be switched between full auto, through round burst, and single shot.
See, I didn't know all that.
Yes, M4s are very useful. Easy to reload, waterproof, and they'll typically come with a red dot sight.
Really?
Yes.
See, he got it. He got it right there.
This
Especially
way,
the waterproof feature.
most of the time you're going to want on the single shot. Better for accuracy, ammo conservation. Conserving ammo.
Ammo is key.
How large is the clip?
That really just depends on what clips you get. You can get larger magazines with almost any gun. Yeah. Especially assault rifles.
They do love big guns.
So honestly, like you said, the M4 is actually very versatile, very usable, and especially the water feature. What a lot of people don't take notice of is the simple fact that zombies most likely will not be able to swim. I mean, the motor skills that are required for it is actually intricate design. It's in and of us when we're children. We're born with the ability to swim. I mean, babies, I said children. But we actually lose that ability because, honestly, it's not necessary until we need to build it back up. Zombies aren't going to either, one, be born.
Only thing possible for a zombie is to float. If they get bloated, if they stay in the water long enough, they will. The skin and him himself will absorb the water enough for him to maybe even float. Maybe. That's the only possible way a zombie could swim.
And waiting any longer, that will then cause us to start sinking once again.
Yes.
So honestly, I would have to probably say, is it 1911?
Yes.
So I would have to go with myself with the 1911 pistol. An Avalanche, what would you like to go ahead and say would probably be your ranged weapon of choice?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, the M4.
M4?
And for pistols, the 911.
And what would you have to say, Baylor?
For me, probably any pistol will do, as long you shouldn't really be using ranged weapons too much while you're out at all. Conserve ammo as much as you can. Only use it if you are being overrun or you need to take out a certain amount of zombies in a certain amount of time to go in and get out. Only time. Do not use ranged weapons if you do not need to.
And when it comes to actually ammo runs, do you have any tips on those that would, go out for an ammo run, other than not going most likely to the mall?
Sporting goods stores, such as Big Five if they have them in the area. Depending on what the situation looks like, Walmart's gonna have some ammo. It's iffy to go there because a lot of people are gonna want to go to Walmart just because it's a big store and you always want to avoid large stores.
And a popular thing, and a very good thing about a lot of Big Five sporting goods stores is the fact that the rear exit is usually closed off and it's only, it's already not barred off, but very protected at the back. And the openings to Big Five stores actually are, I believe, purposely made to have very, narrow entrances. Because if it is robbed, you're most likely going to rob a store like Walmart that has those sliding glass doors that's going to have very big exiting. So that's very good with the Big Five because you're actually going to get that ammo and actually see what's in front of you, not having to worry about coming in and then all of a sudden you see a big crowd of zombies or the undead walking in at you.
Also, Big Five has, last time I went, had crossbows.
Yes. They will have crossbows.
Yeah, they do.
They will have bows. They'll have the bolts for crossbows and the arrows for the actual bows. Both very, very good weapons to use.
And if you can, ice picks.
Mm-hmm.
Ice picks are really, really good. If you can find one, get one, because that will go clean through.
And it is a very long weapon.
It is a very long weapon.
All right, so now that we went ahead and covered a lot of different guns and, a lot of different ranged weapons, what about, living quarters? What would you have to say, Penguin, on, certain living quarters or destination spots?
Depending on where you're at, if you are in a suburb, a place not too big, little city, Bakersfield's it's not supposed to be a big city, but there's a lot of people that live here. Little does anybody know. 2-story apartments. If you can, get to one. They usually have stairs. They also have a fire escape. If you can, take off the stairs, go to the second level, and you can use that as your base of operations. Because zombies can most likely not climb the fire escape. And you can use that to get in and out of the 2-story apartment. Also, don't usually stay in a house unless you have to. Don't ever go to Walmart. Don't ever stay there.
And don't live in Walmart. It's not going to happen.
Do not live in Walmart. Do not live in any type of store that people know that have food. Because what's probably going to be worse than zombies is people.
Bandits are literally 10 times worse than zombies, especially with the simple fact that if you run into a bandit that is already colonialized, already has a group, already has, friends coming to back them up and certain things like that.
They will kill. They don't want more bodies to add on to their group. They're probably just going to kill you and take your food. If anybody has played DayZ, you know what I'm talking about.
Exactly. The only problem with DayZ is you can't even trust your friends.
They will probably kill you.
You'd have some kind of friend
that will probably kill you and take your stuff. And you know how much of a pain in the ass it is to get food and supply in that game, just like it will be in real life if zombies ever came. Your best place is to stay apartments as soon as you can, as soon as you have enough food or anything. Go to the wilderness, someplace kind of cold, but so the infection won't reach too far in there. Canada, I wouldn't go there because everybody will be like, "Hey, Canada's cold." Everybody's gonna be going over there.
And it already has enough people as it is. And I want to go there and see everybody from Degrassi be dead. I like that show, believe it or not. What I would have to say for living quarters or even destination spots is churches. A lot of people don't point those out. Churches, a lot of the more class. I'm not going for ones with organs or something like big old pipelines and all that. But a lot of them actually have, like I said, from Big Five, a small entranceway, and also it's very quiet. It's funny because you're in church, you hear people saying praise Jesus, hallelujah, and all that. You hear that from the inside of the church. You go 10 feet away, you don't hear the inside of the church. The walls to churches are usually very thick because churches are actually very commonly vandalized. So that is actually, and it also has churches usually have a lot of different compartments. They have room in front of us and has a room in back of us where food and other things are prepared. So honestly, that's probably would be one of my choice spots. Avalanche actually wanted this. What would you say about people looking for shelter underground?
Oof, underground. See, if you find a place, for instance, a school that was built back in the 40s and 50s, such as BHS here, they will have a bomb shelter there. Therefore, it would be a great place to go because one, it's going to be a large area where you can hold at least 20 people. Not saying you should have a group that big, but you can. Two, there's going to be lots of room there, and more than likely there are tunnels leading up to some of the main buildings around that you can use for navigation to get around without having to be up on top side with the zombies.
Also, I want to cover certain key aspects of human society. If someone is bitten, they are already dead. If you are getting chased, the best thing they should do is, if you have enough melee weapons, let them keep their melee weapon and fight them off as long as they can. I know that will be hard to do for that person, but if he doesn't want to, shoot him in the leg. I know that's pretty cold-hearted. I know it'll probably be a family member, a good friend, but you need to understand this. They are already dead. They are in danger to you and your group.
See, if you're the one that is bitten, think of it like this. It's an honorable self-sacrifice. You are sacrificing yourself even though you're technically already gone because you've been bitten. To save your friends and family, and you get to go crazy and kill some zombies.
And that is the case where you're allowed to go fully automatic. You're gonna die.
Well, see, they shouldn't have a gun with them.
Oh,
guns are valuable. They need a melee weapon.
That is true.
And preferably a blunt one, not one of the sharp ones, because, say for instance, give them a baseball bat. It can do damage, but it's not one of the primary.
And it is very commonly found.
Yes. Any sporting goods store, almost you can find bats anywhere.
Even homemade. Another thing that Penguin was talking about that I would like to actually write off of. What about the idea that you hear or you see walls from survivors saying that there is a cure right here? What is your belief? My beliefs are personally, even if you have a member with you that's bitten, for some reason you cannot let them go. You really cannot. Say if it's a small group and you have a group of 5 and you don't want to go back down to 4, and knowing this person saying this person is going to be if say if there was a determined amount of time it takes, like say if it's 2 hours or 2 days or whatever, for someone will turn, and you know that you have enough time to get to this place. What would be your guys' idea on the whole hearing from the survivors, seeing it on the wall, supernatural type, not supernatural, basically just writing a notification saying that, hey, right over here in your 5-mile destination, right here will actually be a cure. What is your belief?
See, I'm not gonna want to believe it, and even if our group was desperate for it, I would send, we had a group of 5, 2 of the more skilled survivors to scout it first, to check it out. That way, if it isn't real, we now know, and we know not to waste our time. Have the 2 quickest and most capable people. Other than that, that'd be my only guess. Most of the time, I'm not gonna believe it.
And what about you, Penguin?
Honestly, no, there will not be a cure, because the first thing that's going to happen in a zombie apocalypse, the military will take key locations trying to protect, and they will stay there till they die. And it won't even be the whole military, because most of the military will go back to their family and homes to go protect their family. They're going to be, screw the government, screw everything else. I'm taking all my stuff I can, and I'm going to go back to my family and protect them. They're not going to stay, and only about probably 20% of the military will be left. And about 20% of that military will be cut in half because big businesses or anything else will probably buy them off and tell them to hire them as bodyguards. Because for some reason, people are still going to believe money has value after the government has fallen. So about 10% of the government military will be left to fight for the cities.
And now spread that out across the entire country. That's nothing. Maybe a few hundred.
So that means maybe about a quarter of the country will be defended heavily.
Well, guys, cool kids. Actually, I want to thank you for go ahead and watching. This isn't so much of a rant as more of like a survival guide, more as tips and different tricks that's all going to help you. As maybe at least one of us three are probably hoping that the world ends with zombies or something like that. We hope that, well, all three of us. Well, we're hoping that some of you that actually do watch this will actually learn something, because actually, like, a lot of people are like, oh, this won't be wrong. I'm gonna go full automatic. I'm going to try and kill all. Well, that's not gonna work. Like, as obviously pointed out by all three of us.
So they're gonna be that ignorant? Let them.
Huh?
They're gonna be that ignorant? Let them.
Let them just take their weapon and say go fully automatic with this paper pistol. Well, thank you again for watching, and stay cool, kids.
See ya.
One last thing. If the zombie apocalypse starts and it's not widely known yet, you come across a zombie, do not kill it. Capture it, tie it up, and release it in a Walmart nearby. Spread the apocalypse.
Apocalypse up.
And tell it Guillermo's address.